Hi folks, welcome back to Route to Adventure. I am Brandon, and this is my camera bag. This bag goes with me almost everywhere. I have had it many years. It's got more miles than my tennis shoes, I can promise you that. It has been to Hawaii, it's been to Gettysburg, it has been literally everywhere with me, at least for the last 8 years probably. And that got me thinking, I have certain things that I carry with me all the time. Not necessarily in that bag, but I do carry some things in there that I always have with me. So I'm not going to do like a what's in my camera bag thing, but I am going to talk about a few things that 99% of the time we always have with us when we're traveling. We've always got something, right? Everybody's got their thing on what they like to carry, what they need, and these are just a few of ours. Now, number one is obviously something that almost everybody has, and it's a cell phone. I almost didn't want to put it on the list because it's so ridiculous, because everybody's got one of these. But why wouldn't you? It's got a camera, it's got your music, and I put my mapping system on here. I personally use Gaia, I've used Onyx, I've tried a couple other things, but Gaia is my primary, and it complements the maps that I carry. It works with Apple CarPlay, so it works in the Bronco, it works in the Toyota, it works everywhere. It's all there in the palm of your hand. There's so much information. Maybe you're looking up, you want to look up information about a place you're going, right here. Maybe you got lost and you want to know how to get unlost. It's right here. So there's so many useful things in these phones, so like it's an automatic tool that is so useful to have. So I know you've all got them. Don't forget them. Item number 2, as I mentioned in the phone section, maps. I always have maps with me wherever I'm going, depending on what it is. If I'm going to the backcountry, I have a map of that area as much as possible, and sometimes multiple, because they're not always the same. My favorite, honestly, are the National Geographic maps. They're making some really good stuff now, and if you have a subscription to the Gaia, you actually have these digitally on your phone as well, so you can have a hard copy and your digital copy. But these are the ones, when I get these maps and I carry them with me, I typically, prior to me leaving, I will go through a map and I will highlight or mark out the areas that I want to see. And that way I can always, I have a plan on where I want to go. I know what we're going to go see. We also have that option of checking the map and maybe seeing some things, you have extra time or something like that, and you want to just pop over here, and it's right there. Everything you need here. Plus, I hate to say it, but sometimes you either forget to download the maps or your phone just doesn't work. Always have a paper map when you have the option, so don't forget your maps. Now, another item I like to carry is simple and may seem silly, but my camera bag always has a deck of cards in it. A lot of times we'll also stash a deck of cards in every car we have, because you just never know when you might need to use it. This is a good form of entertainment if you're facing a breakdown and you're waiting for maybe a tow truck or something like that, or if you're a photographer, you hike out and set up for a great shot, and now you've got hours of time to kill until that sunset. Deck of cards. If you've got some friends with you, or even by yourself, obviously if you know how to play solitaire, you're good to go. So I always have a deck of cards with me just in case. There's so many things, so many games you can play with it, just to entertain yourselves, whether good or bad. I like to always have a deck of cards with me. Now, a lot of times we're traveling in a caravan, and communication is key. And the best way that we use to communicate is with the radio. CB radios, this is a GMRS radio, handheld, ham radios. There's a ton of options out there. When you're in a group of more than a couple vehicles, it's key to have communication. And also when we're out hiking, sometimes maybe part of your group has to split for some reason, or some people are slower than others or something. You never know, but it's always good to have the ability to talk to those people in case they get into trouble or you just want to, talk. So we always have a radio with us. I prefer to have hard-mounted radios in the cars, but what's nice about these is you can go on foot. When we're out doing filming or something like that, the hard mount's in the vehicle, and whoever's running the camera can run up with one of these, and we still talk to them and stay in that constant communication so we know what each other's doing. So I highly recommend these. You don't have to have these GMRSs. You can use the family radios that you get at Walmart and all those, but the range isn't going to be great. For a GMRS, you are going to need to have a license, which isn't as extreme as the ham radios. Ham radios, you have to go and take a test. For GMRS, you just pay your fee, sign up to the FCC, and they will give you a number. We always write our call sign numbers on the radio so that we don't forget them, because you are supposed to use those, guys. That's what they're for. But always have these. Great to be able to communicate with one another. And one of our favorite things to do is go to national parks. We absolutely love them. So a lot of these things that I show you are absolute necessity for going to the national parks. But one of my favorite things, and it's always in my camera bag, because two things I'm always going to have when I go to a national park is my camera and this. This is the passport. Passport to your national parks. I love this thing. It seemed kind of gimmicky when we first got it, but really, this is one of my, as far as a souvenir goes, you go to a place and every one of these national parks or national monuments has got these stamps, and it'll have the date on it and where you're at, and it just becomes quite an interesting hobby. And everybody that I've seen that's gotten one of these, you just catch a bug. You have to go find a visitor center and find that stamp. And sometimes, like during COVID, you couldn't go into the the gift shops or bookstores or anything like that. Or some days, heaven forbid, you forget your book. They do usually have a little piece of paper that you can stamp the date on, and then you can take it back and slide it into your book or tape it in there, whatever you want to do. But it's fun to look back. Here's Puerto Rico from March 13th, 2020. So it's cool just to flip through these things and see where you've been. And there's some information of each section. The whole thing is broken out into different regions of the United States, and that's where you'll place your stamp. So you got to go kind of search and find it. But each of these sections has got information of some of the places that you can see. And like I said, it's always in my camera bag, and I just highly recommend having one. I'm telling you, you'll catch this weird bug, and you're going to be searching for these stamps. I guarantee it. Well, and to round out our list of things that I always take with me, it should be no surprise to most people, it's going to be a camera. I almost always will have a camera with me. And of course, I say that not counting a cell phone. A cell phone has the camera in it, and it's great. The best camera you can have is whichever one you got with you, and a cell phone is great for that. However, there are limitations with phones, and I guess I'm just old-fashioned. I really like to have my camera bodies with me, my interchangeable lenses. I typically will carry about 3 lenses with me. I'll have my macro lens, and I'll have a couple of telephoto lenses. But I just love having these cameras, and yeah, they can be big and bulky, but I do everything with them. I'm filming these videos on my Canon R6. Which is our workhorse now. This is my D6, which was my former workhorse, but my first full-frame camera, and I just love it. I love photography, I love playing with video, and having these are the best of all worlds to me. So I will always have a camera with me because I always want to make sure I capture those awesome moments and those awesome scenic, gorgeous shots in these national parks or in the backcountry, wherever we travel. So these are just a few of the things that I always have with us, and I just thought I'd share that with you guys. I hope you guys have a awesome Christmas, and I hope you guys are staying safe. And you know, winter's here, and maybe you're a skier, maybe you're a snowshoer, so you should be getting out there and doing those kind of things. And hopefully here shortly we'll have some more content revolving the Bronco. We do have some improvements coming up. We're just waiting on some parts, and we will share that with you as things progress with that. So until then, Merry Christmas, folks, and we will see you next week.